Welcome to the Colum Tyrrell Podcast. We got a great episode ahead of us today. We got Mike Feeney on the podcast. Wow, what a conversation. This is pre-recorded, so if something in the news happens in the next couple of weeks, I'm sorry we're not reacting to it, but let's just edit it in. So that, like, what? Can you imagine?
Whoa!
They got the Freedom Tower. Damn! Oh my God! Traffic was a nightmare. Honestly, here's the thing. Here's my thing. All right, let's get into it.
Oh God!
No, let's get into 9/11 and how it wasn't that big of a deal. You guys, Americans just love dragging it out. Everyone's had a little bit of terrorism, all right? I'm joking. But the, just so everyone knows, all right, cut that, edit this, start again. No.
The people are sick of the 9/11 talk.
Here's, especially after fucking Nicholas Crow. I did it tonight, show. I'm fucking so hungover. I'm actually, if you'll watch now in the power of editing, what's up on the second half of the show was actually filmed first. But we had Feeney on it. And I guess I was still drunk. I thought I was hungover, still drunk. Now I'm hungover and I'm going, oof.
Now it's
rough as fuck. Yeah. Here's my thing with disasters, all right? You don't want them to happen. You don't want to, you don't want those things happening in the world, disasters. But if they are going to happen, I want to see them. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
If there was a plane to fly into a building today, I don't want that to happen. But I would be so angry if I missed it. Does that make sense? Does it? I'm not saying I want those, but you like it's
right. But if it was to happen, I'd be upset if I missed it.
I'm dead inside. My phone has zapped all life from me. So the only way I can even get stimulated is by probably seeing, just a little Taliban. Fucking
just first person
video, as they call it, the Al Qaeda hello. Do they have the Irish goodbye? Actually, that's the most Irish goodbye you've ever seen. Is the fucking
the Furman, the tower going down. McKinley and Sons.
I'll never be on TV again. It will never be on TV again.
Superstars.
Well, me and Miles Teller are on a hangout now. I did the Tonight Show last night, and by the time this episode airs, I'm sure we've talked to it to death. We'll talk about it on the Patreon. Mm-hmm. But Mike Feeney came on. Make sure you check out his stuff. He has a special that he self-produced called Rage Against the Machine.
Rage Against the Routine.
Rage Against the Routine. Check it out. Mike Feeney, very funny comic. He also has a podcast with Mike Cannon, friend of the show. Brendan Sagulo. He's all right. No, we just haven't had him on the show yet.
Right,
we got him on the old show. But go check that out. Here's the Scenario, I believe is the name of that podcast. So go check that out. Yeah. How you doing, Fonzie? You all right?
I'm all right. Last night was a joy. Thanks for bringing me backstage. Green room.
Free cookies.
Free cookies. If I had a bag, I would have took.
We've already talked about this on the Patreon. Head off to patreon.com/Colum Tyrrell. Go Birds. We have a new goal.
We're getting close.
We are a couple of weeks, we've probably already hit it. Head up to patreon.com/Colum Tyrrell. Help support the show. Keep the lights on. If you've ever just enjoyed one episode and you haven't bought any of the products that we advertise, just head over. It's only $5. You get an extra episode every single week. And just, join in, leave, whatever. Helps keep the light on. And that's it. I'm too hungover to keep going. So, nice little short intro. Mike Feeney, what's up? I'm so sorry I'm late, man.
This is the classic.
This is
the classic Colum big time. Kid shows up 30 minutes late to his own podcast because he's too drunk from doing Fallon the night before. Who the fuck? Who the fuck? What kind of guy brings me to a building where the elevator doesn't work, tries to fucking... This is like a nightmare.
I can't even apologize. Like, I would have walked out if I was you. You should have.
I had my phone texting you right as it got to 11:30, and then you walked right in.
Dude, if you had just said, like, I'm leaving, I would I can't even, I accept, I'm sorry, let me pay for your Uber home or something. I don't know, I'm so sorry. Yeah. Listen, I was out late last night. Mm-hmm. Or at least, I don't even know if I was out late last night. I was out to a certain time. But I was fucking... Are you from New York? Are you born and raised in New York?
Long Island originally.
Oh,
yeah. But I've always been I've been in the city since 2008, so...
Nice.
Yeah.
And you fucking...
Yeah, what is
all
this
these
thing?
white... No, it's all right. Don't worry about We fucking we operate on the fly here.
Yeah, I see that.
I did offer you a coffee. That was the nice.
Yeah. I'm glad you stopped to get 2 coffees too on the way.
I did say I was getting.
And then talking about baseball.
He did ask for he did ask for water, and then I was like, I forgot all of
Sick.
the water.
Yeah, no water came with 2 coffees. So.
Fonzie should go get water. He's not really gonna do much. Fucking cheer out. But you're a fucking diehard Yankees fan, are you?
Yeah.
Why Yankees, not the Mets? What's that about?
Because when my dad was born, there was no Mets.
There was no Mets?
Yeah, the Mets were still. They weren't. There was like a gap where there was no Mets. The Mets were like leftover Dodgers fans and Giants fans from New York.
The Mets are a new team?
I mean, since like the 60s, I guess, like the late 50s, early 60s. So when my dad was born in Long Island, there was no Mets, there was no Jets, there was no Islanders. So I got to be Yankees, Giants, and what other team didn't I say? Rangers.
Knicks.
That's Rangers. Yeah.
Rangers.
And Knicks. Yeah, obviously Knicks, but they're a fucking mess. Yeah. It's brutal.
Yeah, now I feel bad about fucking. I'm a Mets fan, and there was literally just someone brought me to. As soon as I moved here, I was like, I guess I'll support the Yankees because I knew who they were.
Yeah,
never heard of the Mets, and then someone just brought me to a Mets game. I was like, I guess I bought a hat, and I was like, oh, that'll do me.
I've been to a ton of Mets games. That's a fun thing about Yankees fans, is especially if you were born around the same time I was. It's like I have no ill will towards Mets fans because they've never done anything to me but like lose, and they're like they have little brother syndrome. So all Mets fans hate the Yankees because it's like championships and winning pedigree, and Mets fans are like, yeah, but this year we're really good, and then they never win. But
they got the World Series in 2014.
Got to the World Series, yeah. And then they won the World Series back in 1986. So before everyone in this room was born.
Fairness, since I moved here, Yankees haven't been to the World Series though.
But they won the World Series in 2009.
I wasn't here.
Won, yeah.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
We're living on past glory here.
Yeah. I guess. I mean, it's been a bit, but they look good this year. So
I did the year I moved here, and again, I just picked random teams. I had no real whatever.
Yeah.
I was like, I might as well. Especially living in Queens, it's easy to go to the game.
If
you get fucked up.
Yeah, Mets are like a fun, it's like a working class team to root for. You know what I mean? Like it's like they're like always the underdog, the lovable losers kind of a thing. So it's good that they, but the problem is like the diehard Mets fans have and diehard Yankee fans or bandwagon Yankee fans are obnoxious. They're terrible fans. But like the Mets fans, what I hate about their obnoxiousness is they haven't won anything, but they have the arrogance of Yankee fans, where you're like, at least win and then talk shit.
They're like Italians.
Yeah, exactly.
They carry themselves with confidence despite being nothing but trash for years and years.
100%.
They haven't achieved that and for years. Yeah, absolutely. Well, I grew up supporting Manchester United. It was just like, that's just who everyone supported. Yeah. And I've always had this weird winner's guilt. Because I always you'll meet someone else and they support a team that will just lose us constantly. Mm-hmm. Whereas I'm always supporting the Mets to a degree, or at least pretending I support them. Yeah, I do feel better. I was like, I support a losing team. There's something like an honorable. Yeah, we're losers, but we're diehard
lovable losers. Yeah, I did the opposite when I went to Spain. I had never been to a soccer game before, and I was like, it was Real Madrid versus Atletico, and I was like, here we go, where it's basically the Yankees are Real, and then the Mets are Atletico, and I was like, you know what? I was going to Vicente Calderon, whatever the fuck the place is, stadium, back when that was still there, when Ronaldo was still in Real Madrid, and I was like, let me root for Atletico, because that seems like again they were working class. It was fun. I was getting fucking hammered with these people on beers this big for €2. It was awesome, and I rooted for them, and they got smoked. I mean, they got literally. Ronaldo scored a hat trick across them. Wow. They just got embarrassed. But the team the camaraderie of it was so great. And I was like, all right, they're my now they're the one football team that and then I went to a PSG game, which was hilarious because it was the exact opposite, where Messi's just it's 9-0 in the first half. You're like, Jesus Christ.
PSG has the biggest in terms of a cakewalk of a league now. Atletico Madrid do well every now and then.
Yeah, they won last year, but it's but it is pretty funny that they're that is so
why all the fans just trashing you though, in Spanish? No, you don't know,
bro. I was drinking with them. I had a little stupid scarf on. They thought I was They just loved that I wasn't rooting for fucking Real Madrid.
I remember at a Dublin game. So this is Gaelic football, which is only played in Ireland, which is real working class fun stuff. But there was a bunch of French guys, and then we scored there was a goal scored. So obviously the fucking fans go nuts. Like we all go crazy. And like we poured beers on each other's head type of shit. And there was like these French guys and they just like started going, calm down. They were like telling us to like calm down. So everyone just started fucking throwing their beers off their head going, you're in the wrong fucking stadium now. Imagine like an Eagles game. Go, hey guys, could you tone it down? Like in a foreign language too. Fucking going, tone it down. You go, yo, no, this ain't the place.
That doesn't sound like the Irish at all. That doesn't sound.
Yeah, who knew you could be racist against more white people?
Dude, I was at a movie theater and we were watching the previews, or the previews were still on. So like there's like it's like dim but not dark yet in the movie theater, and there was like just a middle-aged Indian dude sitting next to me, and I was just on my phone. They hadn't even got to the part where like Nicole Kidman comes on and tells you like, we go to the theater, that whole thing, and I'm like on my phone, and he literally leans over to me and he's like, hey, by the way, can you just put your phone away? Thank you so much.
Oh my God.
And I like, at first it caught me. I was like, oh, sure. And then and then halfway through agreeing, I was like, wait, what?
What am I doing?
Yeah. And like my wife was next to me and we both started like laughing hysterically at him. And like for the whole, and then it was crazy is, this was like a few months ago when there was the 1,000th COVID spike or something. And I ate popcorn and like the first bite of popcorn, like a shell got caught in my throat. So for the whole movie, I was like violently coughing. And this dude like put on his mask and was like on the other side of the thing, just like full puss where you're like, dude, who the fuck, shut the fuck up. Of course I'm going to put it away once the movie. And also if I don't, like, you think, can you please put it away is going to stop me, you know? Now, if anything, I'm going to be on my phone more.
Turning my brightness up.
Yeah.
Yeah, so because you agree with the guy, but the fact that he even told you.
Yeah. It's
I've had that before, like, where I remember I was on a bus one time and there was like some old lady got up and I was literally just about to get up and like take my seat. And then someone was like, give her your seat. And I was like, you fucking bitch. I was like, no, I'm sitting here now.
I know what to do. Don't tell me what to do.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I agree with you completely, but don't be like, hey, listen, this is how you do it. Yeah.
Yeah, infuriating.
Yeah, fuck. You handled it better than me, though, just laughing. I would have been fucking.
Because I had someone else, like having a way to literally, like laughing, like two people like side talking and laughing about a person who's stuck next to you for 2 hours, knowing that they're talking shit about you is like the kind of like fun gaslighting, like, annoying someone.
That's why you married your girl, because you guys get along like that. Whereas my girl would have like had the hand. I'm going, don't say, and I'm like, no, fuck this guy. Who the fuck does he say?
Up more.
Yeah. I'm like, get off.
Yeah.
I gotta protect my dignity.
Yeah, you just hit her. He's like, oh no, that's not the.
You go, listen, I'm taking it out on you when we get home.
Yeah.
Like,
Turn to the guy, this is your fault.
Yeah, are you happy now? She's getting struck because of you and your fucking nap. That's what happens. There's fucking scandal about this. I know it's weeks old now, but did you hear about this fucking, apparently the chess player got the fucking anal beads up his asshole?
Yeah, and he was like,
it's fucking nuts. It's a fucking wild scandal.
He was playing with the anal beads up his ass?
That's how he was cheating, like in Casino when they had the little buzzer, but it was like Morse code in his asshole. Yeah.
Which is also, by the way, just so many moves in chess. You're like, how many vibrations? So long story short, they assumed this guy who out of nowhere became good, and he was beating the world champion.
The grandmaster.
There's a guy who's never lost since he was 6 years old. He knows every single part of chess. This guy. What's his name? Who gives a fuck about chess, by the way, too? But this guy he's the GOAT. He's the Roger Federer.
Yeah, we're more of a checkers podcast.
Yeah.
Magnus
Snakes
Carlsen.
and ladders. Whatever you call it. What do you call it? Shoots and ladders?
Shoots and ladders.
Nah, snakes back home, dude. Yeah, so apparently they think this guy was cheating, where he had... no one really knows how they came up with the theory that this is where they landed. This also, by the way, if you lose to someone, you just go, yeah, something up his ass.
Yeah. I mean...
He keeps moaning.
Yeah. It's crazy that that they would even like be like, this is how I figured out he was cheating. It's this
is the original script for Ratatouille.
Yeah.
Actually, and they're like, maybe it's on a hat. No, it has to be up his ass. So he was losing, and then they had these vibrating eggs or something that they assume, and
but I don't even understand how, like, who's the person that's helping him cheat? Because shouldn't that person just be the best chess player? Because that person is actually beating the world's best chess player.
I'm guessing what happens is he has a book in front of him with like all the like options or something. Or he has a computer that gives you the best statistical options to win.
Yeah.
But the big question is how many, it's like, there's so many options with chess.
Yeah.
That's the problem. There's a million moves. So did he just learn all the moves and a different little vibration every now and again just goes, fucking do.
Yeah, I tried to learn chess like 3 times when I was younger, and I was like, "This sucks.
Yeah.
This sucks.
The horse makes an L.
I hate that some things go this way, some things go that way. I also hate the pretentiousness tied to chess, where it's like this is a smart thinking man's game.
Here's a good example. You know Lev Fur,
Sure,
fat retard, friend of the show. He will post playing chess, and it's like,
yeah,
like that's all you need to know. If he ever if he's never read a book without posting, I'm reading a book. Like he will post like a black and white photo of him reading Hemingway.
Yeah.
So it's all just for show. It's like I don't even know if you know the rules.
Yeah, he's probably just being like, "What are these pieces in front of me?"
He's like, I have diarrhea. The whole time he's just thinking,
what is chess?
Yeah, but like Lev's one of my best friends. He's just the biggest poser of all time. All he does is it's like every time he goes to it's funny because he's like, oh man, I'm hitting the gym. I go, I know you're not hitting the gym because every time you go to the gym, you post about it.
Right.
I know exactly how many times you go to the gym a year because you've never once not tagged yourself.
Posted about it.
Those gains, and you're like, you're getting fatter.
Yeah.
we know you're.
Yeah, it's LBS gains. That's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I just don't understand how they came up with this wild theory that was like, it must be a vibrating egg up his ass. There's no other explanation.
Yeah. Did he admit it? Did they like catch him? Is he done?
Yeah, he admitted to doing it when he was a teenager. At 12 and 16, he admitted to cheating, and then he
But cheating, with anal beads?
With the
he
beads?
just said cheating. But now the theory, it's vibrating anal beads.
That's crazy, dude.
It's so embarrassing. Yeah, look, do what you got to do to win. You know what? The winner's mindset, you got to do it.
Yeah.
Maybe this is common in the sport, like the way with the Tour de France, everyone was on steroids.
Yeah.
Maybe this is actually common.
Everyone's in a butt plug.
It all comes out in the
The Houston Astros, man. They thought he had a buzzer on their
The
chest. Maybe he
Astros?
has a buzzer up his
Human
ass.
Astros,
Yeah.
In a trash can,
Yeah.
just getting.
Yo, turn my fucking soundboard on, will you? Because he was going to get a huge round of applause from the fake audience. But that's not what he did. Did you mean to say Astros there?
What did I say?
The Houston Astros.
Yeah, what did I say?
Like no.
I said the Astros, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
No, but like,
Oh.
because ass is up his ass.
Ah,
Astros.
yeah.
That's-
Yes, absolutely.
All right, snippy.
Yeah.
We clip that so it looks like we're awesome. No, I've never fucking done any of that. Anytime I try to do those things too, it's always just like, oh, fuck this.
What?
Like anything. Chess.
I think it's about anal beads.
No, anal beads. I'm not against the idea.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna rule it out. I've been actually finger banged actually.
Like an in and out situation?
Literally ass raped. Yeah,
Oh.
by a woman. Yeah, it was crazy. And looking back, I was like, I probably should have set boundaries.
Yeah.
No, I was young. I was 28.
What were you wearing?
I think I just had a shirt and nothing else.
Yeah. You just Winnie the Poohed it? Yeah.
Absolutely, Daffy Duck.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I was with this one chick, and we just went back to my house, and she was kind of like, "Oh, you like some ass play?" And like, I don't mind a little bit of ass play. I'm not really, especially. You know what I like? I like just let me know you're there.
Uh-huh.
Like just like the way you're unlocking a phone. Just just that's enough. Just a fingerprint. is
Sure.
enough. Or even just get a whatever that first knuckle is. That's fine. But like you don't go too much. And when you come, it's good. When you're coming, because your body like contracts.
Sure.
You can't. So there's a finger up your ass. Why is it so silent in here? All right, again, snippy. This will be a 4-minute episode. No, but then I was with this one girl, and I guess I was too drunk or too hungover, but I couldn't come. And she was like, "Oh, you like a finger in your ass?" I was like, "Yeah." And she like flipped me over and put me on my belly.
God.
So I have my hard on against the bed, and I'm like, and then she literally just started fucking ramming me, and I was like, "That's too much." I remember just sitting there going, "This is awful."
Yeah.
It's like looking at the pillow, like this is
You
horrible.
got an apple in your mouth.
And you never came harder.
No,
That's,
I wish I did. It was sort of just.
Now he's the best chess player in the world.
Nothing like a woman getting-
I said Kington.
yeah. Imagine getting fatigued of just being like, I've been finger blasting your ass for 10 minutes, and are you close? Because my wrist is starting to hurt.
Yeah, I can't even remember. I think it just fizzled out, and I was like, "Yo, this isn't my thing." I don't think. But she was like mad into it. She was like really going nuts.
Oh my God.
Listen, I did it. It's not for me.
Mm-hmm.
At least you have that. At least you have that. I have a cross off the list.
Sure.
Where you no?
I'm one of those guys that like, dude, it's a fucking my ass is,
don't leave me like this.
yeah, my ass is a mess back there, dude. I have like there's just like thickets of hair. I can't.
Absolutely.
I couldn't in good conscience enjoy myself if I knew a woman was back there.
Yeah, listen, I didn't ask her. She just sort of took the initiative. And I was just like, it was also at the time where I was just like, all right, let's just see what's out there. Let's see what's going on.
And then the rest of the time, I'd be like kind of tracking her finger the rest of the time. You know what I mean? Because you're like we're like, where's that finger? Is she putting it on the pillow? Like, where is that going? Like afterwards?
No, I took it and I went.
Made
eye contact the whole
yeah.
time. Yeah, Fonzie. I know Fonzie. You and all your homophobic friends right now are just like, oh, what's this gay shit, dude?
You
never got a fucking pinky up the fucking up the root,
no.
up the gicker,
up the gig pipe,
up the gig pipe.
Reminds me of church too
What
much.
if while she's blowing you, she just sort of gives you a little, just like in Face Off, just like a little rub along this.
I'm sure I wouldn't mind it, but I tense up back there. Like you said, it's like the idea of a woman going back.
Yeah,
like
but
it's
you're
all
not.
dirty,
Listen, it's not your girlfriend.
kidding
You're
me?
not. I wouldn't even show her. My girlfriend's never seen my asshole. Are you nuts? No, I love her. But some chick at the bar?
Yeah.
Yeah, get your fucking tongue in there, dude. Really, just violate her. I wouldn't even. I'm the victim here. I'm the victim. I didn't ask for it. She just did it, and it was like violently aggressive.
Well, she did ask, "Do you like that?" And you said yes.
No, she was like, "Oh, you like?" I was like, "We can play around." It was no. She
butt play?
I don't know, man.
Hey!
It sounds like you were like, "Can you please do it?" And also, "Can I call you mommy while you do it?"
It was in doggy style. And he did it.
Wait, am I one of those girls who changes their mind years later?
Yeah, you're changing your story, dude.
I'm me doing this.
Trying to flip this on me like I'm the weird one.
Nah, I know you. There's no way. You never get your ass eat?
No.
No?
Like getting my balls sucked.
It's too tickly. I get too tickly, no? Ooh, baby, we gotta talk about sheet underwear. It's the only underwear that I like to shit myself in. All right? You know your boy. You know your boy, and you all look up to me. I've got some issues, and I've been making fun of women and irritable bowel syndrome and lactose intolerance for years. Gotten to the point now that I'm afraid to admit that I've got my own issues because I always said, "Oh, what do you have a gluten allergy? You must be a little bitch boy." So now toxic masculinity is leading me to the point where I'm just happier to shit my pants than admit I cannot eat cheese. And if it wasn't for sheet underwear, I believe that this shit would be leaking down my leg all day, every day. It's getting hot and sticky out there. That not related to the shit. And sheet underwear, we talk about it every week. They're the only underwear you should be wearing. There's a beautiful segregation system within the nut compartment where you put your nuts one way, your dick goes in the other way. Keeps the friction off it, keeps the smell off it. And I don't know if you've ever had jock itch. I know all the fucking gym athletes that listen to this podcast often have jock itch. Not scientifically proven, but I feel in my heart that this will help eradicate those problems. They're cool, they're comfy, and they come in so many patterns and different designs. I personally like the camouflage because I'm usually standing in a bush in the middle of the night. I don't want to get seen. Go to sheetunderwear.com, use the promo code Collie, COLLIE, and get 20% off your first order. Every order comes with sheets, 100% money back guarantee. So there you go. Buy it. If you like it, you've won. If you don't like it, they'll give you all of your money back. That's sheetunderwear.com. Use the promo code Collie, COLLIE. All right, back to yeah. You have a kid on the way? Congratulations.
Yeah.
Is that bad? To
November.
bring that up?
No.
Yeah.
God, I hope not. I mean, we'll see what happens. I mean, in a couple months, if I don't have a kid, that's going to be pretty terrible. But
clippy.
Yeah. That'd be a pretty big life ruiner.
I get the saddest text going, y'all, can you cut that?
Yeah. Yeah, it turns out everything went wrong. But no, it's...
congratulations, dude.
Thanks, man.
You're doing it. You're fucking doing the whole thing. Wife, kids.
Come November, man. But it's it's interesting, dude, because it feels like, so that they say that like the days are short, the years are long, kind of a thing, where it feels like we've been expecting a kid for like 3 years now, even though it's only been since the beginning of the year. But it's pretty cool though, man. I'm excited about it because I feel like the thing I'm worried about the least is like being a good dad. Like I know I'm not going to be a good like disciplinarian now. Like I'm going to have like that fucking.
Oh, you're the one where it's like I'm ask your mother.
Yeah, I'm like the Phil Dunphy from Modern Family. Like I'm going to be like the like dumb cool dad that for sure is going to like not instill the right values. But
absolutely,
yeah.
That's a man's role.
Yeah.
You kidding me?
But it's one of those things where I'm like I didn't want to be a fucking old dad. You know, like there's something about. You know, my best friend growing up, his dad looked like a grandpa his whole life. And just between like when you're young, like you get kind of like bullied by other kids being like, your dad's so old. Yes. And then it's also like
your old dad is such a funny.
You can't do anything with you.
It's such a funny thing. I forgot about that. Because you're picking on everyone for anything. Yeah. Literally anything. It's like you have a blue car and they're like, blue car, fuck it. And they're like, no.
You could just trash people.
Old dad is the funniest fucking slang. Yeah. The funniest fucking
your dad's going to die soon. It's like, oh, that's cool to say to an elementary school kid, you know?
Your dad has Alzheimer's.
Yeah, exactly, dude.
And he wasn't even that old. He's like probably 45.
He just had gray hair.
And there's just that thing where you're like, fuck, man, like I want to be able to, like, I've asked a ton of people who have kids. I go, if you have a kid again, would you rather have a kid the same age earlier or later? And like almost every single person has said earlier, even in the case when like they had kids by accident, with the exception of like someone who had a kid at like 19, but like even like, but everybody where it's like they didn't even mean to have a kid, we're like, fuck, because once you have the kid, you're like, I just want to have as much time with the kid in my fucking life as possible.
How old are you?
I'm 34, so I'm going to be 35 in December. So it's like, that to me is like, I want to be at an age where I can still like, I want to like drink with my kid. You know what I mean? Like when my kid turns 21, I'll be 56 or something like that. So you're like, that's still a good age where I'm not going to be like in my 60s and like everything hurts. Where you're like, I still want to be a little fucking, you know, a little athletic.
Yeah, you can hit Parents Weekend at college. No problem.
Yeah, exactly.
Fonzie's like that. He's like, I want to do whippets with my kid. I want to make sure.
I did whippets with my parents.
Who knows, man? Kids like don't even drink now, so it might even be a thing where like alcohol is like not a thing when they're
gonna smoke
20 years.
nicotine pens with you.
Yeah, we're gonna vape. You know,
you're gonna
it's
vape
like
in the
fuck.
basement, play Fortnite.
Yeah,
that's fun. Yeah, I never thought of it like that because I have heard it was like my brothers. I was like, I wish I had kids earlier. But like, I always thought he was saying like, I wish I was done with this now. Like, I wish I had like, I wish I was finished so I could be enjoying my life again. Well, I guess your point of view is like, oh, I want to actually spend time with these little.
Yeah, and a lot of people have told me just like you can't like, you know, like Greg Stone who has an 8-month-old kid. He's just was telling me once he found out, he was like, dude, this is crazy because he's like, I'm watching the end of like the person that I knew because he's like, and not even in a bad way at all. He goes just like everything, your entire perspective. It's like doing mushrooms, I guess, where you're like your entire perspective is going to shift on so much shit where like the things that you give a fuck about just like go down to like this narrow, be like comedy, the kid, like that's like everything else is like this fuck this bullshit kind of a thing. So that's kind of exciting, but it is weird where he's like, I'm watching like this like death march of like the dude that I have known, and now I'm gonna meet like the guy. He's like your old.
He's waiting for you. He's waiting for you on the other side.
But what basically he was saying, he was like your whole life. It's like you've been basically like look at it like you've just been eating like McDonald's your whole life, and now you're gonna have like filet mignon. You know what I mean? Where he's just like the shit that you thought was like great in your life is gonna be, you know. So again, we'll see. I mean, a lot of expectation on this kid. He better be fucking great, but. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, it seems like it's a
You're stepping up to the plate, and we're old as fuck. I'm 32.
Yeah.
So, but we are old. But I honestly feel like I'm 19. I feel
Right,
like I've
so do I.
literally I feel like I just moved out, and I'm still figuring out fucking all my life. But then I look back and like my parents' age, like they had already had their whole family by my age.
Yeah.
They were married for 12 years. They had all that shit. I'm like, that's crazy.
But it's just
I meet people in their 30s getting married. I'm like, whoa,
Slow
hey,
down.
dude, it's only 8 years. You barely know this bitch, dude. She's after your money.
It's so indicative of the culture, though, because it's like when people find out I'm having a kid, they're like, "You're having a kid at 34? You're so young," and you're like, "That's crazy!" Like it's like again,
that's like a perfect age though to me.
yeah. I think like mid 30, like because so many kids, people having kids over 40 now. Alec Baldwin's popping them out at like 68, but it's just to me,
the millionaires can do whatever they want.
Yeah.
Let them.
yeah,
Listen, I'm not if you're that rich, you can just keep doing it.
yeah.
It's
You
fine.
got enough. You got unlimited money.
Have 100 kids. Whatever. Yeah.
But it just, to me, it seems like a fun. It was one of those things where I felt the same as you, where I go, I know I've like wanted to have a kid at some point in my life, but I do still have the thing where I'm like, oh, I'm way too young. Like I got to wait a couple more years. But I also feel like that about my life in general, and I don't feel like that feeling is going to go away. Like people in their 50s are like, I still feel like I'm 20 years old. Right. So I think it's that if you wait for that feeling of like, okay, now I guess I'm ready, then you're going to wake up and be 50. Yeah, that kind of a thing. So who the fuck knows, man? Would you ever have kids?
I would like to. I got to meet the right woman, I guess.
Aren't you in a long-term relationship?
I am.
Yeah.
So exactly.
Yeah. How long have you guys been together?
5 years.
5 years.
Yeah. Well, I feel like she's out there somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Made it through the whole pandemic together?
I think I'll stay with this one, but I'll have kids with another one. That's the way.
There you go.
Yeah.
Smart. Secret family. That's the way to do it.
Yeah. Is there anything that you would instill, like that you're like, this is my thing. I'm going to instill this. Like, because, or it's kind of just figure it out yourself, is it?
Yeah,
I'd hate to be a goofy. Do you ever meet in Ireland? This was particular. Like if you met atheist parents, and I am like an atheist like that, more just like lazy. I don't want to think about it. But every time we met parents their kids are always fucking weird.
Yeah,
they're weird.
Yeah, you kind of want to instill that, like, even without religion, like you could not do religion, but also be like that golden rule thing of like, don't treat people how you want to be treated. Like that should just be the main takeaway of Catholicism. It's just like treat people how you want to be treated, and then that's it. It's all the other bullshit that really muddies up the waters of religion. You're like just basic shit. Every single religion has that in common, where it's like, don't be a piece of shit to fellow humans, and we're all good. And it's like that should be the main takeaway.
Yeah, you got to threaten the kids with the concept of hell, though, so they actually listen.
They do say that kids that get raised with like a religious or like that sort of concept of bad and good. Santa's a version of that as well, where it's like reward system that those kids do become. Because if a kid finds out at like 5, there's no real punishment you could do. It's like, well, then what? Let me run this ship into the ground.
Yeah.
The best of it is if you're like atheist, but you're still gonna whack your kids. You're just like, listen, God's not here, but I'm hitting you with the belt.
Yeah, I am your God.
Yeah. Give him a little bit of punishment in there. Exactly. Yeah, I've got these weird ideas. Well, probably I would never do them with the kids. I would have my kid in wrestling.
Yeah.
I think wrestling's the one.
I mean, who knows? It's like I want to definitely have him have some self-defense thing, whether it's like boxing or
you gotta force him to do sports or something.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna put him in. My goal is to put him in every single thing, and then hopefully he likes one of them. I mean, in a perfect world, he would like something like baseball or something that I'm also. But even if he's into fucking soccer, it's like I don't give a shit. It'd be cool to just see you. But I know how I was as a kid, which is like not. At like big dreams of being athletic, but never getting the body to be athletic. So it's like, I was like, man, I can't wait to play baseball and be the center fielder for the Yankees. And then I settled with track and field, it's like, it's not doing the high jump isn't exactly, diving in the outfield like Barry Bonds. So I don't know. I have a feeling like my kid, I know this, my kid's going to be a tall, skinny dude because my wife and I are both like pretty much the tall skinny dudes. Yeah. She is a dude. But it's Irish and Italian, so that's like the the mixture of like a good food, good drinking, and an attitude.
Yeah. Hopefully they get the Italian skin.
I was gonna say if he gets her skin, that'd be great because she like when she tans in the summer, it's like she's got that like Southern Italian look, and you're like that's ideal.
That is I would feel guilty if
Yeah,
One of my kids had my skin. I'm like, I'm sorry.
It's brutal.
Like, there's nothing we can do about it.
Yeah.
It's not a choice.
Huh.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's do some plugs, and I'll plug it at the beginning.
Okay.
What's going on with that? Let them
Mike-
know. Let the 400 people.
I am Mike Feeney on social media across all of them. MikeFeeney.com, MikeFeeneyComedy.com for tour dates. Twitch.tv/NYFreshmaker if you want to see me play video game and scream at children. That's been so much fun recently. But we play with a ton of comics. It's like Butterly and Lewis and fucking Sagalo. We're all playing and shit talking children essentially. So that's very fun. And yeah, check out Here's the Scenario podcast. And I think that's pretty much, go watch my YouTube special, youtube.com/Mike Feeney Comedy. Check out Rage Against the Routine.
Yeah, go check that out. Good stuff. You any plans for more?
Yeah,
I'm
shooting
we're big DIY fans here. That's our whole thing. Just go do it yourself.
Yeah.
Fuck everything. Just
Well,
make it
that's
work.
Been the story of my fucking career.
No
dude.
one else is gonna come fucking pull you up or whatever.
Yeah.
Fuck them.
It's been the best thing that ever
Fuck
happened
everyone.
to me.
Fuck
though.
Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah. You do have a fun thing because Colum is like the ultimate the classic, I don't need the industry. I'll go fucking sell a room out myself. And then he's like fucking, hey, Jimmy, just fucking tap dancing.
Well, thanks very much.
I'll play Twister with you. Yeah.
I'm singing in a car, just
Yeah.
doing karaoke.
Yeah. Just
Make no mistake about it.
Yeah.
I do reject them because they rejected me first.
Yeah.
And that's the classic. You go up to a girl, it's like, hey, how's it going? Can I get your number? And she's like, no. And you go, fucking lesbian.
Yeah. I never wanted your number anyway.
Fat lesbian, you bug bunch.
There is something to be said though about the edgelord who wants to also make it. You know what I mean? Where it's there's a fun dynamic there. But
yeah, look.
How was doing that set though? Because I've seen your set and I know that it's very much not for the most part TV clean.
Yeah, but that's what everyone keeps saying. Every single person messaged me was like, I can't believe you're on TV. I was like, I cannot curse for 5 minutes.
It was because I watched you run the set at the Village Underground, and it was just funny because you're like, I watched you visibly have to slam on the brakes and be like, my girlfriend, she's a friend, a
friendly bitch.
Yeah. And you're like, no, it's still not,
Yeah. I guess you just cut out the things or whatever. It's fucking genuinely. It's harder now that I've done it. It is harder than I assume.
Oh, doing clean is so
but
much.
it's not even that. It's just the doing the actual show.
Yeah.
Obviously, the crowd, they're gassed up. They
Yeah.
love you. They're giving you applause breaks when it's a setup for some reason. And then when you actually do the joke, there was that's the end of the joke. And there was no applause. You go, all right, well, fuck you guys.
Yeah.
But it's also weird because you want to naturally just be kind of be natural, but whatever. But there's a lot of fucking feedback. There's always cut this, do that. And then cut that line. I go, yeah, but that's the end of the joke. So there is lines where it's the joke just fizzled out, kind of whatever.
Right.
But they give you a whole thing. It's I even hammed it up during rehearsals, and I had to do this whole fucking I pretend they have to pretend you do rehearsals. There's no one in the room other than cameramen fake laughing.
You go out there silently, and you're like, "Thank you, thanks,
Jimmy."
Yeah.
And I even went all this stuff, and then they gave me feel. Go, you gotta give it more than that. And I was like, I was already pretending. Already. So I don't know. I never watched back the set, and I know we watched it last night, but I was wasted drunk. But I was like, I do feel goofy. I came out going hey!
How'd you decide?
I hate that. I hate it. It's gonna kill me for the rest of my life.
What I'm always curious of is how did you decide on the outfit? Who picked it out? Did you pick it out? Did they have recommendations?
They wanted me. They were not pressuring, but they were kind of like, you should wear a suit kind of thing. And I was like, no. And then I was like, I'm not wear. I was like, can I wear a t-shirt? And they go, you can. But it's the Tonight Show.
Yeah.
And I was like, no one watches it.
Yeah.
So who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
And that's all. And then I fucking, what this? I get it. Let's be honest.
They're going to take your set off YouTube after this.
Oh no, 10,000 views.
This is the classic guy who, this was you a moment before doing the Tonight Show and then a moment after being like, who fucking needs it? And then meanwhile, it's you do the show and then afterwards you're like, but I don't give a fuck. Yeah.
No, you're right. I'm a pussy. I'm a phony. Whatever. But they're like, so I was like, I'll wear a sweater. So I wore a sweater.
Was it your sweater? Did they provide a sweater?
No,
Did you go out and buy a new sweater for it?
It's funny. I sent my girl to get sweaters. My girl was out shopping. I was like, pick me up some sweaters. And then she got me like a yellow one, which I liked. And then I was rewatching Mike Rowland's set from the night before because I wanted to look at the camera angles. And it was the exact same sweater.
No
It was
way.
a different color. I even texted him. I go, did you get your sweater here? And he's like, yeah, that's exact. And so then I didn't wear that one because I genuinely didn't want people to be like, well, they ever just wear a different color sweater.
Right.
This week is blue, next week is yellow, and then we got green. Yeah, so that was it. But I would like to wear a suit, I guess, but it's like the set that I was doing, I don't think it felt right.
Yeah, there is this fun thing of like comics and dress code where it feels like, I remember years ago I was doing some sort of showcase for some, I think it was like Nickelodeon thing or whatever the fuck they were at comedy clubs. Just like I don't even know what it was even going to be for. But there was like industry. Yeah, there was like industry people there. Yeah, dude, I would love to get slimed, dude. But I remember there was like 7 or 8 comedians on the show, and they like came up to me afterwards and started like being complimentary, and then like halfway through their compliment, they saw the person they actually thought they actually were meaning to talk to, because this was like 2012 or 13. It's like every single white guy was wearing jeans and like a flannel, like a checkered plaid shirt. So, and I remember that moment being like, oh, I don't want to fucking dress. And then like every fucking comedian, Louis is kind of started this whole trend of like, I'll just wear a black t-shirt and black jeans, and then that's like who I am. And I noticed during the pandemic too, it was like, just like the hoodie and like the I don't give a shitness of it. Yeah. It's like there's that thing of, you can go the other end of like Seinfeld or like Mulaney and like Ronnie Chang of, Ronnie Chang wears like 3-piece suits everywhere he goes. Yeah. And it's kind of ridiculous when you're on a lineup. Like I remember doing shows in that penthouse at New York Comedy Club, which is like a rooftop outdoor for like 15 people. And he's wearing like literally like a 3-piece pinstripe suit. And, the first instinct of a comic is to be like, what the fuck is this guy doing? But then you look at how he's dressed compared to everyone else on the show. And you're like, no, this guy looks like a professional. Like everyone else looks like a fucking slob. And you want to be dressed better than the audience. You know what I mean? Even unless it's like Larry the Cable Guy, or like you can be relatable and still be like, the reason I don't wear suits on stage is because it's already like hard for me. When people see me come up to the stage, they see like my face, my hair, they already like want to hate me. So if I give off a thing of like,
is that your aura?
Yeah.
Or do you just think like, someone tell you that?
No, dude, because it's like, I
don't think you have a hateable face at all.
It's a white guy. It's a white guy that's not hideous looking thing, and then if I go on stage and I'm dressed in a suit, then the optic is this guy must be like a rich white guy, you know what I mean? Which I'm not, but it's like it gives that impression. But I did make like a decision during COVID to be like, I'm not going to be a fucking jeans and t-shirt comic anymore. Like I just wear I wear like regular black like pants, but then I'll put on, but they're not jeans, and then I'll have either a jacket on or a button up, just something to like differentiate me from every other white comic on the lineup.
Yeah, you're right. But it does depend on your act. If your act is also like, I'm better than you, like Jesselnick, I think, is like, he's kind of like, I'm smarter than you, or whatever. It's good to wear your suit. But if you're trying to be like, hey, I'm just one of the boys.
Right. Yeah. Wearing I would probably wear a suit if I did the Tonight Show, just because it's on that. And it's kind of like, I don't know. There's something about, I don't ever have to wear suits. I never had a 9-to-5 job where I had to wear a suit or anything like that. So when I do it, like when I go to weddings and shit, when I put on a suit, I'm like, oh, fuck yeah, dude. Like I totally understand why like Seinfeld and Mulaney and these people, the second I like can do theaters, I'll start wearing a fucking suit. I don't give a shit. Like that is it's a powerful feeling, to have a suit and be like, but I understand for comfort reasons being like.
But the idea of fucking Monday night, you got 2 sets, you don't put on your fucking waistcoat and button up your tie. It's like
I used to see some comics would show up to like a bar show in like a suit, and it just made it look like they came from their day job. You know what I mean?
Yes, they're fucking door-to-door salesmen.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah,
fucking selling fucking vacuums or whatever.
But it's whatever the fuck, dude. I mean, funny's funny. Who gives a shit? Like, dude, Big J could wear a fucking suit and sit on the stool, and he just would loosen his tie an inch, and you wouldn't even think about it. You know what I mean?
You're right. Yeah.
He'd make one joke about it up top, and then that would be.
I remember
you get over it.
I remember reading like these rules of comedy. When I started out, there was, like someone had this website or whatever, and they had all these rules. And one of the rules was like, on Fridays, dress down. on Saturdays dress up because apparently this is just a random theory that someone came up with. On Fridays, because they've been working all week, they don't want to see like someone who looks like their boss. They want to relax. And then on Saturday, it's more like, hey, it's Saturday night, you know?
That's hilarious. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the only thing it was like shorts was like the only thing that I think during a heat wave or a few times I've worn shorts on stage. For me,
love shorts on stage.
For me, I wish I could wear shorts on stage. It doesn't work for me because it gives the exact opposite. It's the same problem as wearing a suit on stage for me because I don't have any visible tattoos, but my legs are covered in tattoos.
Oh,
so
really?
I have like full leg panel on this
so
side.
funny.
I have a bunch of tattoos on my legs. So if I go on stage with tattoos on my legs, they're like looking at my face and then looking at my legs and they're like trying to see what the tattoos are on my leg. And then if I don't address it, they're like, I could just see them looking at my tattoos and it just is a distraction. You know what I mean? Like it creates this whole...
You're like a chick in a miniskirt. Where it's
dude.
just, come on, cover up.
Yeah, exactly.
Eyes up here.
It's just more distracting. So it's like anything. That's the same thing I realize when comics wear like jokey t-shirts that are like, I'm not as think as you drunk I am. You can see people reading it. You know what I mean? It's like all that shit. You're like any sort of like crazy graphic tee that's going to be distracting. All that does is just take away. I just try to dress like fucking like, you know, a little fucking smart while also then the shoes, my sneakers are what I always have like, that's my fucking flair, you know? And, like I'll just fucking wear fucking bright orange sneakers and then the rest, you know, you figure it out.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fucking crazy. Yeah, you got to think about all that type of stuff. Listen, look, we got the joke book. Would you read a joke from this random book? We just got it. We're going to see if this is like...
Seriously sick jokes. The most disgusting, filthy, offensive jokes.
I read it once. I opened one page. I read it and it was like, it wasn't even like it was a joke. It was almost like, it was literally just like, I love to kill kids or something. Like there was no like anything. Let's just see if this even. So I guess I just Googled. I just bought this on Amazon on a whim, and I've read it once. And let's see if this is in any way good.
Yeah.
Because Fonzie read it and he loves it. But Fonzie's a fucking retard.
It's the first book I ever read.
It's just so funny. It's like as I was scrolling, I was just like, I just saw rape a bunch of times, and now.
Well, I wrote that in.
Yeah.
That's my jotting. Oh no,
this is your comedy notebook. Oh, your Fallon sets here. You know? What do you call a white man dancing a seizure? That's a little, yeah.
All right. It's not bad. Not bad. Hey.
What is?
Nice. They loved it.
What is the white trash boy next door getting for Christmas? Your bike.
Right. That should be racist.
Yeah. I mean, there's a whole section that just says blacks, which is, I mean, insanity. I mean, there's not even. They couldn't even. Oh, there's an Irish section. Let's read.
Is there?
Yeah, there's an Irish section.
No, this isn't funny anymore. No, stop.
Here we go.
Clippy.
What happened to the Irish terrorist who tried to blow up a bus? He burned his mouth on the exhaust pipe. I don't even think I fully get that.
I don't get it either.
Let's see. How do you get a one-armed Irishman out of a tree? Wave? Okay, I guess because they're nice.
Because we're stupid. We'll wave back. And then you'll fall.
But they're nice and stupid, I guess that means, right? Why wasn't Jesus born in Ireland? Because he couldn't find three wise men or a virgin. That's fine. I guess it's just Irish or dumb. What did the Irishman call his pet zebra? Spot. I mean, these are fucking...
All right, enough of this now. All right.
They got a Halloween joke, too.
What a great segment.
I am not reading that Halloween joke because there's just no shot. There's no shot.
It's more of a visual.
Yeah. This is... but this is funny. I didn't think the Irish had the same jokes as like the... like the fucking Polish. Like these are basically could all be same. Polish jokes. How do you sink an Irish or Polish submarine? Knock on the hatch. You know what I mean? Like there's just...
Yeah, well, we grew up with the Paddy Irishman, Paddy Englishman, and Paddy Scottishman. Did you have those jokes?
No.
They're just old jokes. It's just like Paddy Irishman, Paddy Englishman, whatever, and they all go in, and then the last guy in the joke always does something fucking stupid. But we grew up and we'd make the jokes about like the Englishman, and they would do the jokes and it would just be the Irish guy. So it was like the same jokes, but they were like, oh, aren't they fucking stupid?
Yeah.
And everywhere you go, someone is inbred.
I don't know why Polish became such a thing, especially in America. It's like so far from Polish. Like I don't know
They're
why.
so dumb. Yeah,
But
yeah.
I don't know why that became a thing versus like you would have think conventional wisdom would have said like, you know, the English would be someone that we would be shitting on a lot just from our history together. But I guess even they're like, well, listen, they have Oxford, you know, like they're like even Americans like we fucking hate them, but you know, I got they are kind of smart. They just got bad teeth.
It's funny. That's not even a stereotype in Ireland. We just think them like they're more like Mexicans in Ireland. They're like just hard workers and they just fucking Polish.
Wow.
No one's ever called a Polish person stupid in Ireland. Then you get here. Maybe it's because
I've only met like 4 Polish people in my life. I mean, it's crazy. They're not even. They don't even represent like any part of the population. They're not even on the fucking pie chart, dude.
Yeah, it's like
Sliver.
It's like having opinions about people from New Zealand. It's like why even bother?
Yeah, they're like, well, how do you feel about the people from fucking like New Guinea? And you're like, I don't know. I couldn't even point one out of the lineup.
It's all just the baby boomers. The baby boomers love the Polak jokes.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, listen, Mike Feeney, thank you so much. I apologize again for being late. That was very
Of course,
obnoxious.
bud.
Don't hold that against me.
Yeah, I mean, it's on the list, dude. You're on the fucking. You're on the list.
Hey, listen, I'm a TV guy now.
Yeah.
Listen,
Yeah.
big things are happening right now.
Yeah. Can't wait to see you next week at Uncle Vinny's in Point Pleasant, New Jersey. Like,
Fuck Uncle Vinny's. Fuck Uncle Vinny's, dude. We ain't never going back. Yeah, but thank you so much. Check out this your podcast.
Here's the scenario.
Here's the scenario.
Yeah.
But you changed it. It used to be this is the scenario, was it?
It was what's the scenario?
What's the
Because then
scenario?
we got a quick cease and desist from people. Tribe Called Quest. Turns out they have a pretty big
really?
lockdown on the phrase.
I thought it was just like a different podcast. It was
No.
like, and I was like, all right.
We even used to have like Tribe Called Quest. Like that would be like the thing. You know, what's the scenario? That's like the whole.
That's absurd.
That was like the whole thing, and then immediately it was just like it was getting flagged and like a quick like you got to change. So then we just like all right, like here's the like what's the closest word to like the same sentence, you know? But it is what it is. But
Thank you very much.
anyway, dude,
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Good
Yeah,
fan.
man.
All right. Goodbye, everybody.
what a quick sign.